Alright guys, we're back, and we don't have a match yet, but looks like Mini Razor's game might just only be starting. Oh, they have actually started, so never mind, take that back. Just barely. So unfortunately that means we do not have a game ready and available just yet. Bottom side, Matisse and Guru advanced out really quick, so we may see something down there. In fact, speaking of the devil with the Muslim, that might be an okay bracket to follow. Top side, so excuse me, middle side of the bracket though, I'm really keeping an eye on Braddock's and TLO's bracket. I really want to see a rematch between them. Those were some really good games yesterday. Bly should have an interesting road ahead. He's pretty good with ZVZ, and it looks like most likely Lambo King or Demi would be his opponent in round 4. But of course, for you guys watching, type ! brackets in chat. This is about 3 minutes delayed, so you'll perhaps see different results here by the time you've actually seen them after I've gone over them here. But yeah, not really any games ready and available, unfortunately. Community feedback thread from Blizzard, though. Ooh, this might actually be interesting. You want to read this to do the downtime?
All right. Well, I found it. I got it.
Okay. You will alternate sections, okay? So you go first.
Okay. Current map tweaks. Thank you for your feedback on the proposed map changes. After our considerations and your feedback, we will go ahead with the rock change on Galactic Process and the additional blocked off path to and from the center area to the outer paths on Descent Station. You agree that the zero ground change might not be needed yet, since the area to defend early in the game would already be lessened due to the rock change. If there are further changes necessary after those go in, we can definitely make additional passes as needed, so please let us know what you think.
The rock change on Galactic Process, so does that mean they're going to put the block back into the natural where they took it away from?
I think so.
So does that mean, and this sounds crazy, the map maker may have known what he was doing in the first place?
No.
Okay, because I wouldn't dare I say, I would hope Blizzard, oh, I forgot to run ads. Oops, let's do that really quick. I would certainly hope Blizzard, I've only got...
You got nothing, you're done.
Alright, so it looks like I lucked out in the coin flip. Queen's scan range fix. We also wanted to let you guys know that the Queen's scan range fix is going in today as well. Thank you for your feedback on this. And a quick explanation, scan range is like your auto attack, right? Like if you A move type thing. And Queen's didn't have that updated with their range increase. So I actually almost wish they wouldn't go through with this, because it would denote skill to players who could actually take advantage of the +1 range by focus firing down a medevac, opposed to players who are just kind of aim moving willy-nilly or their queens are like AFK in the base. I don't think it's broken that they are fixing it versus not fixing it. I actually just think it would be a lot cooler if they left it where you actually were rewarded for micro potential, and not in a game-breaking way, but in a skill-defining way.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Oh well. It's fixed. Balance. Not much has changed here since last week. The overall consensus across our teams, community, and pro players seems to be that it's too early to make a hard call on where the current state of the game is. If ZVT is problematic, we can definitely look into removing the plus light damage of Liberators. And a few things in our Raiders should also be no surprise. A Depth Shade cooldown increase, Warp Prism health nerf, and Ultra's upgrade armor nerf by 1. We've also pinged Kespo regarding these potential changes and are waiting to hear back as well. Please continue discussion in this area, as we are definitely keeping watch.
So this isn't, I think, something that'll be a surprise to anybody. This is something I was a little bit taken aback by when we were at the summit. I can't talk about the actual things we discussed, but there was an interesting thing where we would talk about a topic. So, hey, why don't we balance blank, right? And then we might even have a room unanimously agree on this, and then the person in charge, again, I'm trying to say not to say names so we don't get in trouble for this, would say, great, we'll take this to Kespa and see what they have to say. And I'm kind of like, why is Kespa the end-all be-all for this? Like,
well, I think what's unfortunate is that Kespa is the combined forces of Koreans. For them.
That's true.
It's not actually.
Yeah, because they talked about it in a previous update, right? Like, when they say we're talking to Kespa, it's just because it's got all the Koreans' best interests at heart.
Sure. Well, I mean, supposedly. But, I mean, you can argue that all day long. But I was going to say is because that there weren't a lot of Koreans at the summit. That maybe if there were, they'd be like, hey, Korean. What do you think?
There's so many things about balance in the game. I will say this much, though. from the stuff we saw that we can't talk about because it's super secret to the stuff that you guys are seeing publicly posted by Blizzard, I do like the direction they're going. And being willing to take bigger risks is always better. We wanted this. We begged for this for the entirety of Heart of the Swarm. Like, Blizzard, quit tweaking little tiny itty-bitty things. So if one balance patch we were hit with, Warp Prism, Buffer Nerf, Ultralisk Armor, Adept, all at the same time, like, that would be very interesting to me, opposed to each of them taking a different patch over 3-5 months.
Yeah. Do you want to get this game?
Sure, get us into it. I'll just read this last portion. Other community update stuff. We want to let you guys know that there were questions regarding what else was discussed at the summit. There are many topics, such as what features to work on next, what is the next direction for the multiplayer game of StarCraft 2, esports, etc. But many of our team are still in the process of drilling down the details of what the feedback we've gotten at the summit would imply going forward. We'll definitely have a lot of info to share in the coming months across various fronts of StarCraft 2. And I will confirm just really quick, there was a lot of discussion at the summit, like a lot. It wasn't that we all went there and had a free vacation, which, to be honest, we kind of did. But there was a lot of work done and a lot of discussion, so I can verify that last bit. They've got a lot of feedback they have to sift through. But, okay, we are in the game for Denver, the last dinosaur. I remember casting this guy, versus GunGFuBanDa. So it's a ZVP coming up next. Update chat coming up. Denver versus GunGFuBanDa. This is getting interesting to me because GunGFuBanDa is actually a player who would get through. Like, he's one of the people I think you would favor to qualify through the actual brackets today.
Yes, yeah. Being rude, though. What the hell?
Wait, what?
Me and Naruto having a civil conversation about cats.
And then they just start?
And GunGFuBanDa, no, he said that Naruto's trying to get a conversation with a girl. You
know what? Naruto always does this, and this bothers me. He'll be like, here's a clip of my cats. Would you mind sharing this with Zombie Grub? And I'm like, bro, I like cats too. Like, come on, maybe I would like to see these.
You have never shared those clips.
Rude AF. I know.
You hog.
I know, because I get mad about it. I'm like, yo, this is, like, you can't.
You son of a bitch.
You know what? Introduce the Protoss guy first.
Alright, in the bottom right, as the red Protoss, he is GunGFuBanDa. Oh, oh. Wow. Didn't mean to start shit.
And in the top left, ladies and gentlemen, Denver, the last dinosaur.
Oh, that's why you wanted.
Yeah, of course I'm playing the music. I'm gonna let the full thing play out. He's our friend and a whole lot more. Denver, the last dinosaur.
That worked out well. He's had a sneeze.
Actually, it's funny because I get silly with this because I love that show growing up and whatever. But the French casters are so far the only people I've run into who knew this reference, which is so weird to me because I don't think this was like necessarily a French show. It was like an American, super American TV show.
Canada, you know, basically the same.
But the point is, it's American, not Canadian. Like,
do you know that? Do you actually know that French show that's like actually kind of popular everywhere, but it's French and it has like the Vikings. One's like really big.
Oh, it was. I don't know about a show. I know it was a comic.
Yeah, sorry, it was a comic.
I don't recall the name, but I know what you're talking about. They had like the parachute pants and stuff. Like,
yeah.
really
they made
stupid.
a movie out of it. Yeah, that's one French thing I know because I remember very specifically learning about that in French class because it was such a big deal to them. But I don't think you would learn about Denver, the last dinosaur, in an English-speaking English language class.
Alright, well, small things have already happened, by the way. Quick shoutouts go to Angel Wings 1. Thank you for the 11-month resub. GunGFu's not doing anything too strange. He's building his base out here, which is honestly, if this was like a 12th floor something weird, this might actually be trouble. As the pylon dies and it's game over. But calculated risk, because on the other side of the map, Denver did expand, but he just skipped past the natural to do so. This isn't so strange. We actually see Nerdchew and a lot of really good Zerg players say it's just not worth the time dicking around with the probe. Might as well go elsewhere because I'm taking that third quick anyways.
Yep. And it works out pretty well. Poor Protoss.
Well, we can't talk a lot about the discussion stuff at the summit. I do want to just take a moment to defend myself from the troll, the very obvious troll in chat. So yes, congratulations, you successfully baited me. I had a lot of really good ideas and was praised for some of them even. So to say I know nothing about what I'm talking about, much less the discussions that we had at the summit, I hate to inform you, but you're just wrong, buddy. You're just wrong. It's not even mad, it's fact.
I didn't even see that one. But yeah, We both had at least one idea where David or whoopsie,
Well,
where someone was like,
Cavid Dim.
where someone was like, that's an interesting idea. Yeah. So we're smart. Don't ever not believe that.
Yeah. They're talking about esports money buying cars in chat and Bugatti being brought up. I was gonna mention, because of just how bad I was at Korean stuff, for a long time I thought a bulgogi was a type of car, and I thought,
Oh my
wow,
God.
man,
Yeah.
all these Koreans always talk about bulgogis.
God,
They just must be rolling in the money, man. Like,
I really want to see you in Korea, man.
just how bad I'm gonna do.
So I know I went to Germany, but I really feel like we both did not ever have conversations with any the German non-English speaking population. Right? Like I asked for like a dessert or something, like a pastry, and I pointed and I said thank you in German, and that was it. But I never saw you try your German, you know. And I really want to.
Incorrect. When we were at the supermarket buying bananas.
Oh, no, okay, no. Besides that, you also tried your German with M. So.
I said wunderbar, and the cashier was like, smiled and clapped for me a little bit, okay? But then I think she very quickly picked up that was the only word I knew.
Oh, God.
All right.
God.
So, again, there's a lot of players to get through in the brackets today, guys, and I know a lot of you are cheering and begging for us to pick the more popular names. So the reason I actually didn't mind picking up GunGFu's is because, again, this is a player you will most likely see competing in WCS in whatever qualifier he competes in. I'm not going to say he's a top finisher, and we're not even guaranteed to see him get through the qualifier today, but he is a player who, through the last 2 years, we've got to watch evolve his playstyle and grow to be a way better player. So I always enjoy the chance to guess a GunGFuBanDa game, even though his name should be GunGFuBanDa.
Why did he do that? Did he just want to trip us up?
I guess.
I guess. Well, there's one person going to come in.
Caster since 1903.
1903?
Yeah, because that's when Protoss were invented.
Oh.
Don't you remember that secret talk we had about the summit?
Oh
my
about
God,
the story?
we could just like really shit the bed with everything and be like, yeah, remember that thing that was totally untrue, but we'll just say happened at the summit?
Yeah, like the 4th race coming.
Yeah.
Oh no! Oh God!
Oh, don't tell about the Naga. We'll get in trouble for that.
Oh God! Anyway,
yeah, Legion launching with WoW guys is actually going to cross promote with StarCraft to bring viewers back to the game.
Blood Elves is new race. So.
No, Blood Elves has been around. Okay, Warp Prism does get shut back pretty hard. 28 health remaining, gonna be kind of hard to go back in there, even with the shields fully regenerated. So I'm not sure how much GunGFu is gonna want to dedicate to this, but at least it's an option he has, kind of chilling in the corner. Overseer in the meantime gets a full scout of GunGFuBanDa's base. Seeing 3 extra gateways at the back, not really crazy. If you saw 5 or 7, that's when like super big red flags get thrown down, or even a double robo for that matter. But everything GunGFuBanDa is doing at home is kind of what you would expect for a Protoss player.
Yeah, this is a very odd little small push, one that might be seen on like Arena, I feel, more than any other map, because if you do see it coming, I think that this is around a time that the Zerg is already comfortable building armies, so it's not like you're catching them or out-producing them at this point, but we'll see what he can do. Adepts are okay against Hydras, actually, and there's not a lot of fodder for them either. They get kind of behind the Hydras, and maybe
Guardian
this
shields
was
as well.
The perfect time.
I mean, the +1 weapons on Denver didn't really feel like they aided at all.
No, they didn't. No, the Hydras died like, too fast. I mean, Denver was getting his army. He was in the midst of having like 40-50 army supply.
I think a problem with this too was like if half those Hydras were leggings, this may have gone different because at least he would have had buffer. But regardless, he didn't. And GunGFuBanDa takes a very solid game one and a very. That ended a lot faster than I thought it would, to be honest. Not in terms of game, but in terms of that fight. Yeah,
it was also it really was not like, oh my God, he has 10 gateways about to all in here. It was 7 with the 8th on the way. And 3 bases that were pretty fully saturated. They didn't have their gases, but still.
Well, gonna hop into game 2. Denver invited me to Frost. DeMuslim now playing against somebody named Memory Freak, so I believe that's his round 2 match. This might time out well, so I think we'll have a really good round 3 match ready to go after this, and either DeMuslim versus Matisse likely, or Euthermal versus Soul, looking at the brackets. Fear's playing against Braddock, and if Braddock can survive Fear, that will be damn impressive, because Fear's a very nasty Protoss player to have to play against. TLO still waiting for an opponent at the top side, and once again, there are many other streams covering the matches. I can't tell you where or when or what, but you can find them all on Team Liquid.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here. You got O Gaming, Take TV, Emil, SCT Improve with Wardy, Yogo, and Pewee. I thought I saw an awesome Reddit thread last night. Some really amazing Lord and Savior of the North American scene was going to be casting today. Wonder what happened to that.
Oh, I cast North American.
Hmm.
Duh, don't you know?
Doy.
Doy.
Alright. Hopping into Frost. Again, I'm really hoping that the noise... It's died down a bit, so it's not so bad now.
Yeah, well, with the music, I guess it sounds like a part of it almost, so people aren't complaining.
It's just like, wow, the repercussion today is really great in this StarCraft music.
I didn't realize that Denver was using the Climb the Ladder portrait, which I really didn't think anyone was going to like. Oh, well.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, spawning here in the bottom left side. He's down a game. It's the Blue Zerg player, Denver.
No, I have to sneeze. Hold on.
And in the bottom right...
Damn it!
perfectly introduced with a Gesundheit.
Ah!
The red Protoss, GunGFuBanDa.
You didn't follow through! Damn it! That would have felt so good. Anywho.
Oh, that was another word. Sorry, to mention some others. I remember because Bieter or whatever. Bieter was another German word they taught us.
I learned about Dickmans.
Dickmans was perhaps the highest liked photo I have of you on Twitter.
Between two buns. Yep.
If someone wants to dig through my Twitter and find that photo of Zombie Grub with the Dickmans, you will get bonus points.
You know what, though? They weren't wrong. Like, Dickmans between two slices of bread is actually not the worst thing in the world.
I just couldn't believe the old name. Like, that company was just really bad at naming
the name
their products.
before that was much worse.
Oh, Germany!
Our plan is to go to a grocery store and find, like, the weirdest stuff possible, and we found some, weird stuff. Not flavor-wise, though. Actually, we found some very delicious things. Like, I really want those, the marshmallow little pastry things we found, but oh well.
I was actually, side note to this, I was really sad that at Home Story Cup, despite working with him for so long on a lot of these events, I didn't actually get to see too much of Naruto. I think it was like a quick, hey, how you doing? Had a bit of a high five and then had to leave, so that was a little bit sad for me because I was looking forward to hanging out with him a bit more. I think he's going to use the old name, so I got to be careful. We got to be very careful, man. Thank you to Rapchav Suzaku. Don't know how close that was to the actual pronunciation of the name, but thank you for the 13-month resub and dealing with me not being able to say that name for a little over a year. The Prince of Nigeria makes good snacks. If you know what I mean. Okay, no.
Wow.
We're getting into bad territory here. We got a WCS broadcast. We shouldn't be typing in the chat in the first place. I just realized Nigeria was censored. Did that come up as censored for you?
No. I have the censor bar off.
I have the language filter on to avoid moments like this on stream, and apparently Nigeria is censored. Okay. I understand why, but still. Can you imagine? Like, you're a player who's just gotten StarCraft 2. You're the first pro player from Nigeria. Someone asks you in chat, so where are you from? And you can't tell them.
Well, I remember like 2 years ago with one of our first official broadcasts for WCS. You know, it wasn't the IEM, it wasn't DreamHack, it was WCS. And someone did curse. And I remember you somewhat kind of like freaking out like in a joking manner, right? But then you're like, oh, maybe I should put the language filter on.
Yeah. I also remember you getting scolded during another Blizzard-related cast.
See, that is hardly considered to me, personally, a Blizzard-related cast. Like, I go back to casting that stuff, I would curse all day long. I'd be like, fuck you, fuck this.
All right, well, we shouldn't be doing it now anyway, so I'm not going to help promote your terrible habits. 5 gateways on the way in a robo, so we're going to have perhaps a similar attack to last game. I want to note that what GunGFuBanDa did that really stuck out to me, though, was he didn't put a forge down at any point. There was no attempt at that +1, so it's not to say that he can't play with brute force. That's the beauty of Protoss gateway units right now. If you get enough of them, they don't need to be good. You just need enough of them.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Denver... Okay, good. I was like, don't let those spore crawlers finish, buddy. You need those drones. You need them. Because he knows what's happening. He knows that he needs everything to defend against this. It's a very difficult attack to defend against, you know? Like, you don't feel comfortable, I think, as a Zerg player, only on 35 drones, but you have to cut pretty early to take care of this. And you do want to get that Roach Warren, too. These Lings actually have to be dealt with.
Yeah, and actually a Stalker's not going to be the best option. He's going to put some pylons down. We saw some great walling out of earlier, so Poppy Joe earlier. I imagine GunGFuBanDa can replicate that pretty easily. But I will say, with Roaches on the way, it's going to be much different than Lings, much different than Hydras, because unlike each of those units, they are actually kind of robust, so Roaches can take a hit or two.
Yes, but unfortunately they cannot deal lots of damage quickly. Relay's combination...
I mean, Roaches actually, I always forget how good their burst damage really is, though. Not to say, like, again, arguing anything else, but 16 damage a shot's nothing to ignore. Problem is, though, this is so many Adepts already. He could warp in a Sentry next, but oh, Hara, forsooth, look what's in the production tab.
Might not even need it, though. Here's the thing, right? Lings all
Bad
died,
things.
pick up, and... Well, the Roaches, like I said, they're tough, but their numbers aren't here, and they really do need the help of a couple of Lings.
I'm going to
or
adjust.
Like 20 Roaches.
I'm going to adjust the saying that I'm trying to make happen, even though fetch isn't going to be a thing. Bad things come in threes. Adepts, War Prisms, and DTs.
That works.
The Adepts have actually done a pretty good job fighting, but I do want to commend the Warp Prism Micro to GunGFuBanDa. He was doing some excellent dancing while this went on. Denver already down 10 workers. Most of the Roaches have gone, and of course, this gets even worse once this Dark Shrine completes. There's no detection. There's no lair. The Spore Crawler, the natural, would be the only means of dealing with DTs. But impressive is called GG. And ladies and gentlemen, GunGFuBanDa will take a 2-0 and advance on in the brackets. All right, so once again, for us, that's going to send us to break times. We'll try and find another match. Again, there's a lot actually starting to shape up in the very, very bottom side, in the very, very middle of the bracket. So Guru, the Muslims side, with TLO and Braddock side, they all look like to be the best parts of the bracket to follow. Before we go to the break, though, I do want to once again remind everybody that the actual finals for this tournament will be a best of 5 in round 4. You only have to get to the top 8 to qualify through today. You don't actually have to play beyond that. So we're already over the halfway mark. Anyways, thanks for watching. Consider subscribing. We'll see you guys soon.